Secret handshakes, oaths of loyalty, shadowy rituals behind closed doors, what connects the Freemasons, the Order of the Eastern Star, college fraternities and sororities, and even old accusations of witches and warlocks. Today, we're diving into controversial theories about how these groups are tied together and why people say they all share occult roots and even satanic symbolism. The Freemasons are one of the world's oldest fraternal orders, dating back to the stonemason guilds of medieval Europe. By the 1700s, they had transformed into secretive societies for influential men, meeting in lodges using arcane symbols like the square and compass, and in initiating members and groups through dramatic ritual. Masons say it's all about moral improvement and brotherhood. But for centuries, critics have claimed these secret oaths and symbols hide occult traditions and even satanic allegiances. Why do people say Masons are tied to satanic rituals? Look at their symbols. The all-seeing eye, obelisks, pentagrams in some Masonic art. Conspiracy theorists argue these are occult markings. Initiation rites often include oaths sworn on penalty of death for breaking secrets, a practice some link to black magic blood oaths. Advanced degrees feature allegories of death and rebirth, reminiscent of ancient mystery cults and esoteric traditions accused of occult roots. While mainstream Masons deny any satanic links, critics claim that secrecy is exactly how such practices are hidden. What about the Order of the Eastern Star? Often called the women's branch of Masonry, Eastern Star accepts both men and women. It uses symbols like the five-pointed star, a pentagram with points representing virtues. To supporters, it's a charitable organization with moral teachings. But critics note the pentagram symbolism and ceremonial structure. Some argue that, like Masonry itself, it reflects esoteric traditions connected to occult or even satanic imagery. These accusations often tie the Eastern Star to the same conspiracy theories about hidden occult networks controlling society. Conspiracy theorists often go even further, claiming Masonic and Eastern Star rituals echo ancient witchcraft. They point to casting circles in ceremonial spaces, calling on symbolic forces or virtues, initiation and oath-taking similar to coven traditions. Some say these parallels prove a direct lineage from so-called witches and warlocks, medieval occultists persecuted for secret rites. Of course, historians argue that these connections are often exaggerated, and that ritual drama doesn't mean actual witchcraft. But that hasn't stopped conspiracy lore from making these associations. So, how do college fraternities and sororities fit in? Greek letter organizations often directly copied Masonic lodge structures, secret rituals, and oaths, initiation ceremonies with dramatic symbolism, secret handshakes, passwords, and degrees. Groups like Phi Beta Kappa in the 1700s were founded when Freemasonry was culturally dominant. Critics say fraternities and sororities are training grounds for elitism and secret societies, normalizing secrecy and ritual from a young age. Some point to dark traditions in hazing, chanting, and symbolic death and rebirth initiations that echo occult initiation practices. Here's where it all comes together in conspiracy theory circles. They claim there's a hidden network connecting Freemasons, Eastern Star, college fraternities and sororities, occult traditions of witches and warlocks. In this theory, these groups pass down esoteric knowledge, maintain secret power structures, and influence society from behind the scenes. Rituals, oaths, and symbols are seen not as harmless traditions, but as signs of allegiance to hidden agendas, even satanic forces. Supporters of these theories point to repeating symbols like pentagrams, obelisks, all-seeing eyes, and ask coincidence or code. But what's the truth? Most scholars dismiss these ideas as conspiracy fantasies. Masonic lodges, Eastern Star chapters, and Greek letter organizations insist their rituals are moral lessons, bonding exercises, or celebrations of tradition. They deny any occult or satanic intent. Yet, the secrecy, symbolism, and dramatic initiations make these groups a magnet for conspiracy theories. In the end, whether you see these connections as harmless tradition, occult heritage, or outright conspiracy depends on how you interpret the symbols. If you found this fascinating, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Do you think these connections are real or just wild conspiracies? Thanks for watching.